This week on Capital District Dirt, Mike Mahaney picks up the win at the Albany-Saratoga Speedway. Josh Marcus brings down the house at the Valley of Speed, and Lance Willix picks up his 10th career win at the Ridge. All of that and much more this week on Capital District Dirt. Hey race fans, welcome to another episode of Capital District Dirt. I'm your host, Toby LaGrange. Let's kick things off over at the Albany-Saratoga Speedway on Friday night, July the 26th. Picking up the win in the Dirt Car Big Block Modified Division was Mike Mahaney. Demetrius Drelos finished second. Mark Johnson was third. Robert Bublak was fourth, and Jack Lehner rounded out the top five. Rodney Johnson was sixth. Peter Britton seventh. Matt DiLorenzo eighth. David Schilling ninth, and Scott Huber rounded out your top 10. In the Dirt Car Sportsman Division, Zach Buff picked up the feature event win. Tim Hartman Jr. finished second. Chris Jakubiak was third. Dylan Madsen fourth. Dylan Grogan was fifth. Brendan Gibbons was sixth. Mike Benson seventh. Travis Whitbeck eighth. Dave Baranowski ninth, and Pat Jones rounded out the top 10 finishers. In the Dirt Car Pro Stock Division, Rich Crane was your feature event winner. Brandon Amy finished second. Scott Dool was third. Jason Casey fourth, and Bo Ballard fifth. Kyle Horde finished sixth. Kim Dool was seventh. Caden Dumbluski was eighth. Jay Fitzgerald was ninth, and Chuck Dumbluski rounded out your top 10 finishers. In the Limited Sportsman Division, Steve Birch picked up the win. Dakota Green was second. Matthew Gibo was third. Nick Ospelmeyer was fourth, and Nick Brundage rounded out the top five. Chase Zimmer finished sixth. Damon Anderson seventh. Tanner Kuhn eighth. Dan Sequin ninth, and Mike Block rounded out the top 10. In the Street Stock Division, Matt Mosier picked up the feature event win. Chris Stalker finished second. PJ Cram was third. Mark Birch was fourth, and Dan Madigan was fifth. Sixth belonged to Josh Bucino. Seventh was Josh Hemming. Eighth was John Filarecki. Ninth was Mark Lester, and 10th was Dana Van Vatten. In the Dirt Car Mini Stocks, or the Dirt Car 4 Cylinders, if you will, Kyle Lanfear picked up the win in the Single Can Division over Ben Ladd, Tom Hill, Brittany Ladd, and Dawson Thompson. In the Dual Cam Division, it was Slappy White picking up the win. David Frame was second, Josh Ramsey third, David Molyneux was fourth, and fifth was Ashlyn Ramsey. Anthony Johnson was sixth, Micah Grant seventh, Adam Montville eighth, and Josh Allen rounded out your starting field. In the Modified Dash that held earlier in the night, Jack Speshak picked up the win over Demetrius Drelos, Ronnie Johnson, David Schilling, Scott Huber, and Mark Johnson. Moving on to the Glen Ridge Motorsports Park on Sunday night. In Dirt Car 358 Modified action, Lance Willix picked up the win, his 10th career win at the track. CJ Castelletti finished second. Tucker O'Connor was third. Brian Pessolano was fourth, and Andrew Buff was fifth. Carter Gibbons finished sixth. Nick Zielinski was seventh. Dale Gray was eighth. Brett Graham was ninth, and Tony Ferrone rounded out your top 10 finishers. In the Dirt Car Sportsman Division, it was the Hall of Fame Classic. It was also part of the CDRA Racing Series. Zach Buff picked up the win, his second on the weekend. Tavian Blowers was second. Taylor Watson third. Dylan Eldred fourth, and Cody Oakes rounded out your top five. In the Dirt Car Pro Stock Division, Steve Kosselman picked up his second consecutive win at the track. Luke Horning finished second. Slater Baker was third. Chuck McSpirit was fourth. And Dave Stickles rounded out your top 5 finishers. In the Limited Sportsman Division, Mason Gray picked up the feature event win. Nick Brundage finished second. Mike Block was third. Owen Lewis was fourth. And Zach McSpirit was fifth. Moving on to the All-Star Slingshot Division, the win went to Braden Ketchum, his first career win. AJ Albreda finished second. Justin House was third. Braxton Dembeck was fourth. And TJ Hughes rounded out your top 5. In the Junior Slingshot Division, Alex Kosselman picked up her second win of the season. Preston Troutshall finished second. Lucas Cole was third. Carson Hamlin was fourth. And EJ Hatch rounded out your top 5 finishers. In the Street Stock Division, Josh Samaroff picked up the win. Jason Samaroff was second. Matt Mosier was third. And Matt Wells rounded out your running order. In Indy Dirt Car Mini Stock Division, Jordan Ryder picked up the overall win. Brian Blank was second, Nicole Decker was third, Nicholas Bunn was fourth, and Bruce Little rounded out your top five. Moving on to the Lebanon Valley Speedway on Saturday night. Picking up the win in the Dirt Car Big Block Modifying Division was Josh Marcus. The second generation driver was followed by Kyle Armstrong, Brett Haas, John Virgilio, and Timothy Davis. Mark Johnson finished sixth, Andy Bicchetti was seventh, Kyle Sheldon was eighth, Eddie Marshall was ninth, and J.R. Hefner rounded out your top 10 finishers. In the 358 Modifying Division, Andy Bicchetti was your feature event winner. Peter Carlotto was second, Kyle Sheldon was third, Jason Harrington fourth, and Joey Coppola was fifth. Michael Sabia finished sixth. Jeff Watson was seventh. Eighth was Brett Haas, ninth was Brian Peterson, and 10th was Lauren Bro. In the Sportsman Division, Tim Hartman Jr. continued his dominance with another feature event win. Nick Giardini was second, Peter Lorenzo III was third, Michael Sabia was fourth, and Anthony Maxson rounded out your top five. Keith Johansson was sixth, Ray Hall Jr. seventh, Brady Cordova eighth, Justin Ghazi ninth, and Alex Bell rounded out your top 10. In the Dirt Car Pro Stock Division, Rick Duslak picked up the win. Chris Stalker was second, Dave Stickles was third, Nick Hilt fourth, and Chad Jessia was fifth. Ryan Krellin was sixth, Tommy Dean was seventh, Brian Kia was eighth, Richard Spencer was ninth, and Sean Perez Sr. rounded out your top 10. In the Limited Sportsman Division, Owen Lewis picked up the win. Colby Kokosa was second, Chris Humes was third, Ray Royals was fourth, and Scott Zeneker was fifth. John Sandelin was sixth, Dylan Holmes seventh, Harold Robitaille eighth, Garrett Biargelli was ninth, and Braxton Martin rounded out the top 10. In the Super Street Stock Division, Jeff Meltz picked up the win in the 20-lapper. Dave Striebel was second, Jason Meltz third, David Striebel was fourth, and Peter Huntoon was fifth. Lou Gankars was sixth, Carrie Ann Vandenberg was seventh, Franklin Smith was eighth, Evan Denu was ninth, and Ray Hall Sr. was 10th. In the four-cylinder division, Jason Peck picked up the overall win. Jonathan Shepard was second, Dawson Thompson third, Brian Blank fourth, and Chris Danieleko was fifth. Coming up this weekend here in the Capital District, starting out at the Albany-Saratoga Speedway on Friday night, August the 2nd, will be the annual John Grady Memorial Nostalgia Night. The Dirt Car Big Block Modifieds will go for 43 laps in the feature event for $4,300 to win, $2,300 for second, and $1,300 for third. The Dirt Car Sportsman Division will go for $1,000 to win, as will the Dirt Car Pro Stocks. The Limited Sportsman will go for $750 to win, and all divisions will be in action, along with the Mohawk Valley Vintage Dirt Modified Series. Out at the Lebanon Valley Speedway on Saturday, the stock car program is silent for the week as they give way to the Monsters and Megas Monster Trucks event. Gates open at 4 p.m. with a pit party from 4 to 6. That's on Friday, and Tough Trucks will begin at 6:30 with the main program to follow. And on Saturday, same schedule for the afternoon. On Sunday evening at the Glenridge Motorsports Park, it'll be NISCA night. All divisions will be in action. We'll also be honoring the New York State Stock Car Association Hall of Fame inductees. The induction ceremony for the NISCA members will be at 4:30 right in front of the main grandstands. Racing starts at 6 p.m. And as I said, all divisions will be in action. As we are nearing the completion of the 2024 racing season, at least for the point standing side of things, we're going to start taking a look at the point races at the area tracks here each and every week on Capital District Dirt. Let's kick things off out at the Albany-Saratoga Speedway. In the Dirt Car Modified Division, Peter Britton has the top spot. He has 700 points. 32 points back will be Mark Johnson. Then it's Jack Lehner with 653, Matt DiLorenzo with 573, and Mike Mahaney with 571. Sixth place is Demetrius Drelos with 524. David Schilling is seventh with 500. Robert Bublak is eighth with 492. Colby Schroeder is ninth with 490. And Ryan McCartney rounds out your top 10 with 462. In the Dirt Car 358 Modified Division, Mark Johnson sits on top. He has a 12-point lead over Matt DiLorenzo. Mike Mahaney is in the third position. He's 22 back. Fourth is Ronnie Johnson. He has 186 points. Fifth is Andrew Buff. He has 172, as does Robert Bublak. David Schilling is seventh. He has 170 points. Walter Hammond Jr. is eighth with 157. Garrett Poland is ninth with 146. And Matt Woodruff rounds out your top 10 with 133. In the Dirt Car Sportsman division, Tim Hartman Jr. is out front with 640 points. He has a 90-point advantage over Chris Crane Jr. In third is Dylan Madsen with 546. Mike Coffey is fourth. He also has 546. Chris Jakubiak is fifth with 507. Mike Benson is sixth with 498. Pat Jones is seventh with 485. Dan Grignon is eighth with 482. Brendan Gibbons is ninth with 481. And Zach Buff rounds out your top 10 with 478. In the Dirt Car Pro Stock division, Jason Casey sits on top with 624 points. Brandon Amy is second. He is only 7 points back. Bo Ballard is third with 615, as is Kim Duell. Fifth is Rich Crane with 599. Sixth is Kyle Horde with 572. Seventh is Chuck Domblewski with 571. Eighth is Shane Henderson with 564. Ninth is Slater Baker with 537. And 10th is Rob Yetman with 499. In the Limited Sportsman division, Chase Zimmer is on top with 708 points. He has a 15-point lead over Nick Brundage. Sitting in the third spot is Dakota Green with 652. Fourth is Tanner Kuhn with 629. Fifth is Nick Ospelmeyer with 594. Sixth is Dan Sequin with 541, Seventh is James Glerno with 533. Eighth is Jordan Hill with 527. Ninth is Mike Baker with 510. And 10th is Chad Gregory with 490. In the Street Stock division, Chris Stalker is on top with 762 points. Second place right now belongs to PJ Cram. He has 688. Dan Madigan is third with 640. Jimmy Duncan is fourth with 636. And Josh Hemming is fifth with 608. Matt Mosier is sixth with 590. Mark Birch is seventh with 526. Ray Pierre Jr. is eighth with 495. John Filarecki is ninth with 462. And Damian Ward rounds out your top 10 with 436. In the Dirt Car Mini Stocks, or the four cylinders, in the single cam division, Kyle Lanfear is on top with 420. Ben Ladd is second with 358. Brittany Ladd is third with 346. Tom Hill is fourth with 300. And David Labarge is fifth with 280. In the dual cam division, David Frame sits on top with 404 points. Adam Montville is second with 370. Josh Ramsey's third with 258. Fourth is Chris Danielecko with 236. And fifth is Ashlyn Ramsey with 232. Taking a look at the Lebanon Valley Speedway's point standings. Sitting on top in the Dirt Car Big Block Modified division is Brett Haas. The Pittsfield, Massachusetts driver has a 17-point lead over Andy Pichetti. Mark Johnson is third, 38 points back. Colby Schroeder is fourth, 43 back. And John Virgilio is fifth, 56 back. Kyle Armstrong is sixth, 61 back. J.R. Hefner is seventh, 92 back. Heath Flack is eighth, 94 back. Eddie Marshall is also eighth, 94 points back. And 10th is Kyle Shelton, 105 points behind. In the 358 Modified division, Poughkeepsie, New York's Joey Capolo is on top with 468 points. He's a 2-point advantage over Andy Pichetti. Brett Haas is third, 22 points behind Coppola. Fourth is Kyle Sheldon, 32 back. And fifth is Jeff Watson, 80 points behind. Sixth is Lauren Bro. He has 382 points. Seventh is Ryan Larkin. He has 370. Eighth is Jason Harrington. He has 366. Ninth is Peter Carlotto. He has 348. And 10th is Donnie Travaline, who has 330. In the Sportsman division, Tim Hartman Jr. out of Glenville is on top. He has 660 points. Michael Sabia is second. He's 112 points back with 548. Third is Nick Giardini. He has 528. Fourth is Brady Cordova. He has 492. And fifth is Justin Ghazi with 460. In the sixth position is Mike Arnold with 451. Seventh is Carl Barnes with 438. Eighth is Anthony Maxson with 416. Ninth is Ray Hall Jr. with 314. And 10th is Ricky Davis with 296. In the Dirt Car Pro Stock division, Zach Sorrentino out of Lee, Massachusetts is on top. He has 568 points. He has a 2-point advantage over Nick Hilt out of Averill Park. In the third position is Tommy Dean with 528. Fourth is David Stickles with 481. And fifth is Sean Perez Sr. with 460. Sixth is Chad Jessio with 446. Seventh is Brian Keogh with 428. Eighth is Rocco Procopio with 426. Ninth is Ricky Duzlak with 408. And 10th is Chris Stalker with 390. In the limited sportsman division, Scott Zeneker out of Clintondale, New York is on top. He has 530 points. Brian Walsh is second, 59 points behind. Ray Royals is third with 456 points. Fourth is Owen Lewis with 436. And fifth is Braxton Martin. Braxton Martin is fifth with 434. Sixth is Harold Robitaille with 424. Seventh is Dylan Holmes with 396. Eighth is Kent Clark with 386. Ninth is John Santolin with 376. And 10th is Jason Brewer with 370. In the Super Street Stock division, David Strebel's on top. He has 668 points. Jeff Meltz is second with 662. Third is Carrie Ann Vandenberg with 548. Fourth is Dave Strebel with 540. And fifth is Franklin Smith with 522. In the four cylinders, Jonathan Shepard leads the dual cam division with 352. Jason Peck is second with 288. Third overall, and the top single cam division driver is Stephen Burka with 274. Then it's Chris Danieleko with 198. He's dual cam. And fifth is Dylan McLeod with 192, and he is a single cam driver. Moving on to the Glen Ridge Motorsports Park, taking a look at the point standings out at the Ridge. We'll kick things off with the Dirt Car 358 Modifying Division. Lance Willits has the points lead. He's the 30-point advantage over Tucker O'Connor. Lance has 468 points. Carter Gibbons is third. He has 424 points. Andrew Buff is fourth with 422. Brian Pesolano is fifth with 416. CJ Castelletti is sixth with 367. Dale Gray is seventh with 362. Joey Bonetti is eighth with 361. Brett Graham is ninth with 348. And Bill August is 10th with 267. In the Dirt Car Sportsman division, Zach Buff is your points leader with 464 points. Taylor Watson is second, 12 points back. Tavian Blowers is third, 34 points back. Cody Oaks is fourth, 46 points back. And Stephen Gray rounds out your top five, 54 points behind. In the Dirt Car Pro Stock division, Luke Horning's your points leader. He has 480 points. 30 points back in second place is Slater Baker. Third is Steve Cosselman, who's won the last two events at the Ridge. He's 42 points back. And Chuck McSpirit is fourth, 44 points back. Toby Cooper is fifth, 190 back. In the limited sportsman division at the Ridge, Nick Brundage and Mason Gray are tied for the points lead. Chayton Young is third, 14 points back. Zach McSpirit's fourth, 64 points back. And Zach Graham is fifth, 106 points behind. In the All-Star Slingshot division, AJ Albreda has the points lead. 64 points behind the Connecticut racer is Braxton Dembeck in second position. Braden Ketchum is third, 68 points back. Bodie Marks is fourth, 82 points back. And Dave Vial is fifth, 84 points back. In the Junior Slingshot division, Preston Troutschuld sits on top. He has 456 points. Lucas Cole is second, 2 points back. Carson Hamlin and E.J. Hatch are tied for third. Each are 4 points behind. And Alex Kosselman rounds out your top five. She is 40 points behind the leader. Moving on to the Street Stock division, where Jason Samroff is in search of his second consecutive track championship at the Ridge. He has 526 points. Josh Samroff is third, 34 back. Matt Wells is fourth, 68 back. And Matt Mosier is fifth, 256 back. Moving on to the Dirt Car Mini Stock division, Stephen Walters is your top single cam point getter. He has 490 points. Jamie Warner is second in the single cams with 460. Third in the single cams is Pat McSpirit with 330 points. In the dual cam division, Jordan Ryder is on top with 453 points. Nicholas Bunn is second with 424. And Nicole Decker is third with 422. That'll do it for our look at the point standings around the Capital District here after this past week's racing action. We'll update more point standings next week right here on Capital District Dirt. Taking a look at the 2024 Hoosier Racing Tire Dirt Car Weekly Championship standings, we'll kick things off in the Dirt Car Big Block Modified division, where Peter Britton sits on top with 854 points. Mark Johnson second with 846. Jimmy Phelps is third with 774. Colby Schroeder's fourth with 756. And Jack Lehner rounds out your top five with 751. In the Dirt Car 358 Modifieds, Lance Willicks is your points leader. He has 838 points. Billy Dunn is second with 832. Andrew Buff is third with 734. Tim Fuller is fourth with 598. And Tim Sears Jr. rounds out your top five with 586. In the Dirt Car Sportsman division, Cody McPherson's on top with 940. Zach Buff is second with 868. Nicholas Root is third with 828. Zach Sabaka is fourth with 820. And Gavin Eisel's fifth with 818. In the Dirt Car Pro Stock division, Luke Horning's back out front. He has 816 points. Slater Baker's second with 794. Bo Ballard's third with a 651. Jason Casey's fourth with 648. And Brandon Amy is fifth with 643. And we round things out with the Dirt Car 4 cylinders, or the Dirt Car mini stocks, if you will. Justin Pope is on top with 755. Chris Bonofsky is second with 676. Tony Frezzo's third with 612. Alex Riley's fourth with 587. And Kenny Hare rounds out your top five with 584 points. That'll do it for this week's edition of Capital District Dirt. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you right back here next week for another episode of Capital District Dirt. That will do it for this LaGrange Media production. Until next time, please stay safe. Remember to support those that support racing, and support all cancer research. Until next time, so long for now.